Hello guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Stacy and today we are going to be doing another little mini landscape. This one has mountains in the background and pine trees in the forest and a beautiful blue sky. Again, I'm using my Beam watercolor paints. There we go. I had to move my keyboard, I almost knocked it down. And again, this is just a little 20-minute quickie watercolor painting. Sorry about the focus there. I wanted the sky in this one to be a little bit more bold. And then I'm just going to paint over the tops of the trees. Paint that background over the tops of the trees so that when I paint the trees on top, the beautiful background colors will filter through and the breaks in the trees is the thought pattern there. Trying to mix a color off to the side for my little mountains. I couldn't decide if I wanted them to be a pale purple or if I wanted them to be grays or blues. I was struggling. Then I feel like I lost some of the blue in my sky, so I'm going in with a more opaque gouache blue right there, the sky blue. That one right there. And then I don't want it to be a flat blue because I like clouds in my sky, so I'm going to dab some of that up. There we go. And now I'm gonna heat tool through the layers throughout this piece. So sorry about the visual there, my big ol' hand. This piece is trading card sized. I don't know what size a trading card size is off the tippy top of my head. In my head, I assume other people just know what a trading card is and how big it is. So 2.5 wide by 3.5 tall. Or very, very close to that size. So I can put them in a trading card sleeve when I'm done. And there we go with our first layer. And I'm really practicing my layers this year with my watercolor, letting things dry or drying them with the heat tool before I put in another layer and not working strictly wet into wet, which is my preferred way to work. I really like the colors when they bleed and move around, but I'm discovering that I really like this technique as well, especially for something like this where you want a little bit of a hard line at the top of your hills as they come more forward, right? You want them to go lighter as they go back and a touch darker as they come closer to you. And I lost my line, so I'm just winging it with my shapes here. And blast it with the heat tool again, just quick. These take almost no time to dry, these little teensy paintings. Sorry about the state of my nails. My granddaughter and I were playing with art supplies and it was a little messy. So my nails are a disaster. I just noticed when I was editing the other video because I did paint these all in one evening. I just had this month's trading cards, the first five this month are all painted and drawn within one evening. Not one session, but all in one evening. I did take breaks. They go pretty quick. This one took roughly 20 minutes to paint, especially quick when you're using the heat tool. And notice when I'm putting in my pine trees that I am leaving breaks at the beginning, and then I kind of muddy things up a little bit, but that's okay. It's totally fine. No one would know if I didn't tell them. And I should have done the hills in the background first. But I jumped to my trees. I just jumped to the trees. And then I'm thinking in my head that I want these to be more of a silhouette, more dark, more, closer to black. In my head, I'm thinking that, but I don't actually ever get that far with it. Again, sunny spring day. There's not necessarily a dark black silhouette to be had, right? Unless you're in the forest. But this one looks like we're looking out across, like maybe we're on a bluff looking across at the skyline. So you're seeing tops of trees. and then hills and mountain and beautiful sky. And when you're actually up in the mountains, it's a panoramic little landscape. Maybe I should do these landscapes in landscape. Does that make sense? Like sideways, flip the card. Make them more panoramic. Dropping in darker greens for shadows in those trees, and then to pop in the tree trunk is just another dark shadow. Just another dark green. You don't have to use a brown for a tree trunk in something like this. Anything really. I mean, you don't have to use any particular color. It's your values that make it read correctly. But yeah, just popping in a little bit of dark for the trunks. And that one pine in the middle there is more spindly than the other ones. Like the top of it is more spindly. So you're going to see a lot of tree trunk in that one. And then here I'm thinking I really need this to be a darker green. I just need it to be darker on the bottom there. And maybe the trunks of the trees, maybe. So here I am splashing around more color. More paint, more paint. And yeah, here's where I realized I didn't paint the hills the color that I necessarily wanted them to be. So I'm dropping that in right now. And then just a little bit here and there, right on top of the trees, like to get that break, to make it look like there's a break. Kind of steal that back a little bit. And some of these beam paints are gouache, so that is just a really effective technique with these paints. We're going to do a little tape peel. I'm using my X-Acto knife because I have other things taped down that I haven't quite got to yet. And I do like to do a tape peel at the end of every video. Here I'm hitting with the heat tool once again. Dry it up, crisp it up a little bit. Ooh. Blew it right off the page almost. And now I'm deciding I want to grab a little bit of water. These are my watercolor pencils. They're Castle Arts watercolor pencils. Everything that I'm using in the video is linked below. They are affiliate links, just so you're aware. They don't cost you anything extra, but they do give me a little bump. A little tiny bit of payment, which helps support the channel, right? So everything's linked below. These are really nice watercolor pencils. I have not done an actual complete watercolor piece with these yet. That is on the agenda for the end of the month. So it'll be upcoming. I'll let you know in the vlog what it is. And I decided that my trees weren't prominent enough. There wasn't enough texture, so I'm going in with the green on top for like shrubbery and just to make it look more bushy and more foresty, and to give those trees a little bit of texture. And let's face it, pine trees are pretty textury. I'm just scribbling around, getting in that grasses technique down below. So it looks like it's bushy and grassy. And there's a little close-up for you. I really like this one. It does feel like you're kind of standing in the forest peeking out. And I decided, looking at it through the camera, that there wasn't enough contrast in my trees. So I'm going in here with a Noir watercolor pencil, which is black. I would have normally chosen a blue or a purple, but this works. I'm just shooting in a little bit of contrast for visual interest. Contrast is key. Not everybody uses it, but it is a nice touch on a piece. And there we are. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you're new. Come and hang out with us. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Let me know what you think. Bye. See you guys later.